as we head down to Eau Rouge and go down the inside of two cars. We go down the inside of Rivage and give Alonso the deftest of touches, but strangely, as we head around the Parabolica, there's an engine failure ahead, and that slows all these cars down. Hello viewer and welcome to another episode of the F1 Mega Career. Today we are at Spa for the Belgian Grand Prix. You join me in Q1 with our objective of a P16 qualifying. So we're going to start our lap as we head down to La Source, turn 1 on the circuit. We're going to head down the first straight of the lap. Only 20 seconds remaining in the session and our banker lap is P18. So we need some improvement. So we go down through Eau Rouge and up Radion. I better get that right, otherwise I will be slaughtered in the comments with the WTF1 campaign on Where's Eau Rouge. Head down the Kemmel Straight to turn 5 of Les Cumes. Turn 6 and 7 beyond. Get a good entry to 5 and a hook up 6 nicely. What about 7? Entry's good. Do we go a little bit wide? No, keep it on the track. There is a car ahead as we head into Rivage. Jean-Luc Verne not getting out of the way. There's a little bit of contact as he tries to take the position back. Turn 9 we head through as we go down to Pouon. We've got another car in the way and it's Vitaly Petrov not getting out of the way, so as we go through Pouon we just dip our tyre into the left because of our compromised line because of Petrov. Round turn 11, Pedro de la Rosa does get out of the way. Turn 12, can we hook up 13 nicely from here? A little bit slow on turning, but we're running out of fuel, so we've got to put this lap in. Head down 14 of Stavelot, getting it nice. Don't ride the curb as much as I do in the race. That's good. Get very close on the exit of 15 to the wall, so that could have been qualifying over for us there. Turn 16, just a shallow left-hander before 17 of Blanchimont. We've got a car in the wall. We almost hit Rosberg and Timo Glock at the same time as we come around Blanchimont, so that could have ended our qualifying, but because we had to lift and then go wide, which cuts your engine if you go on track on this game, I don't think we're going to be able to improve as we cross the line. Yeah, only P18, so that's our banker lap being faster than our second. So we finish qualifying in P18. So another disappointing session for ourselves. P16 is our objective for the race. Vettel in P1, our teammate qualifying in P12, ourselves in P18. So let's see if we can catch up to those ahead as we head to 5 red lights at the Belgian Grand Prix. Rosberg ahead, let's see if he blocks us into the source like he did at Blanchimont in our qualifying lap. And lights out and away we go. Ricardo on the right getting a much better start than us. We've got a Caterham going down the inside as well as we enter the braking zone for the source. Managed to find our way down the middle. Rosberg going wide, pushing Senna off the track as well. And he goes off himself. So you would have expected that in modern F1 he'd have to give that position back, but not in F1 2012. As we head down to Eau Rouge and go down the inside of two cars, 2 positions made up on Eau Rouge. Can we get any on the exit of Radion as we chase down our teammate down the Kemmel Straight? It doesn't look like we're making that much of an advantage, so perhaps we're going to get him down at the braking zone of Les Cumes. Here we come, 100 metre board is there, we're going to look. He gained some time on him, but there's no opportunity to overtake. As we round turn 6, is there going to be any opportunity to get down anything through turn 7? Not quite. We're going to have a look down the inside at Rivage, and there's nothing there. So for the moment, I think we're going to hold station, and we're going to have a look at a replay of what happened in the first few corners of this lap. So we get a fairly average start. I mean, we're getting overtaken by quite a few cars. But we hold station going around turn 1 and the source, Caterham going down the inside, who's giving space to Ricardo on the outside, going 5 wide at one point if you include Senna, who's at that point forced off track by Rosberg. Here's another move, look at that, it's going down 2 cars at Eau Rouge. A very bold move from the start of the race. It could have ended all there, so we're lucky to make that one. The space was there, so we took it. So we come to the end of the first lap. And we arrive at just the right time because they're in such a train that they're tripping over each other. But we arrive at the back with such momentum that we can start putting moves on those ahead. Our teammate is the first one. So we go down the inside, give him plenty of room. I don't want to take out my teammate again this season, so he gives us the space as well. On the exit, who's going to get down to Eau Rouge first? Looks like PDR is, so can we get a move like we did in lap 1? We do. We take the position, sweep through up Eau Rouge, and the position is ours. So P11 ahead. Unfortunately, P11 happens to be the Red Bull of Mark Webber, so we're going to have to do a bit of work to try and catch up. The only reason why we're with this group of the Williams, Ferrari and the Red Bull is because we managed to get within the DRS range and use that all up the Kemmel Straight, and then they trip over themselves into Les Cumes. So that's the only reason why we're able to match pace with these cars, Spa being a power unit circuit, whilst not being a particularly beefy engine, the Mercedes in the early 2010s. We look down the inside of Mark Webber down Rivage, and it's a bit ambitious move to try and gain the position there, especially when we're so far back. So we go through turn 9, not much to gain there, but we are putting Mark Webber under pressure. So at the end of the lap into the bus stop chicane, again on the brakes, just going down the inside, we get the position from him at turn 18, but he gets it right back on 19 when he goes on the inside. So can we get a move down into the source? We're behind Webber, we've got a good amount of speed on him on the brakes once more, going down the inside, having a little nibble on his rear right tyre. Our teammate behind looking to get us both, so we head down to Eau Rouge behind Webber. Can we get a move done? We're going to look round the outside, Webber cuts us off, we just managed to stay on the track without crashing into any of the barriers. As we see a nasty accident with Michael Schumacher going into one of the barriers at the top of Radion, so much so that I instantly had to look at what happened. I'm not really sure. Looks like he's just put a wheel on the curb. He's just tried to pass someone and then span into the wall. So that's a very nasty accident for Michael Schumacher. So at the end of that lap, no safety car. We come in to serve our pit stop, the one we were making this race. We get a good stop. Don't gain any or lose any positions. Two cars around us pitting. But on the pit exit, we have Kamui Kobayashi ahead, who will be fighting on exit for P10, I believe. So we head down to Eau Rouge once more, trying to get as close to Kobayashi as we can in the Sauber. As we head down through Eau Rouge and up Radion, we have gained a significant advantage on Kobayashi, so we're going to go down the outside. He's going to push us wide. We get DRS, and he's got DRS from the car ahead, so it's going to be a battle of the slipstreams. We're closest, so we're going to get more advantage. Go down the inside into Les Cumes, and that is the position taken from Kobayashi. Alonso ahead, can we track him down as we round turn 7? There's not looking like much of an opportunity to overtake. As we enter Rivage, we get a little bit too deep, allowing Kobayashi to go side by side with us. We give him the space he needs to come down. We think he's backing out the move. I cut across, and I think there's a little bit of contact between the two of us, and he loses his part of his front wing. So apologies for that. So we spend the next couple of laps trying to catch up with Alonso, Button, as they're being slowed down by a Lotus, Grosjean, or perhaps Kimi Räikkönen. We go down the inside of Rivage and give Alonso the deftest of touches, but unfortunately that's enough to spin him round, and we receive a 20-second penalty for doing so. So that is our race over effectively, as P7, the cars behind us, are close enough that they're going to gain the position as soon as we cross the line. The next lap later, we have a bit of an incident where I'm used to following someone through P1, go wide, Mass takes the position. But the very next later, as you saw from that cloud of carbon fibre that's now raining down on the circuit, that Felipe Massa just goes straight on at the bus stop chicane, so maybe some kind of brake issue, and goes straight into a wall. So Kobayashi takes the position back at the end of that lap, at the start of the next lap I should say, under DRS, and I've not really had that much of an issue about fighting back for it, because the race is over for me anyway at this point. That 20-second penalty, I'm not sure, it definitely deserved the penalty. I don't think it deserved 20 seconds worth of penalty. I think it was because it was Alonso, they gave me a much heftier penalty. As we round the bus stop chicane for the final time, Sebastian Vettel wins the Belgian Grand Prix. We come home to cross the line in P8, but we're not going to finish there because of the 20-second penalty that needs to be applied. So where are we going to finish? 13th. So we stay within the team's objective of P16, and that promotes our teammate into P10 from P11. So he scores some points at the cost of our 20-second penalty. So not an ideal race. It was looking quite good until the tiniest of touches, the tiniest of contact between ourselves and Alonso. But the team aren't too worried about it, to be honest, because as we come through the carriage at the end of the race, we get applause for crashing into Alonso, and our first race engineer, very happy with our performance despite taking out a potential title contender. So we come through to the next race in Italy. I don't show qualifying this one because it was just a dismal lap. I finished in Q1. There was no reason why I was down so low. It was just purely because I was just slow. I wasn't blocked by anyone, and I think it would have been quite boring to see it. And it's not like anyone needs the refresher of Italy because it's such an iconic track and one that probably everyone knows. So we start off the race in P18. We don't even make it into Q2. So 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix. Let's see if we can make some positions up. Lights out and away we go. We had a good start against Kobayashi on the left, but as we rise through the gears yet again, I don't put it into rich mix quick enough and don't use any curves, so we start losing out. But we head down to turn 1. Kobayashi comes across us, trying to avoid the contact, and ends up hitting the Caterham to our right. So that poor guy's lost, I don't know if it was Petrov or if it was Kovalainen who lost his front wing, but they're going to have to come and serve a pit stop to try and repair that wing. As we go around the outside of Jean-Eric Verne at the Curva Grande for the first time, coming down to turn 4 at the Della Roggia chicane, and Massa going very slowly at the initial entry, compromises his own line, so we take the position from him as we head down to the first of the 2 Lesmos, going down the inside of Kobayashi, but he gets the place back, comes back onto the track, almost making some contact as don't give him all the space in the world that he would have wanted, but enough so he doesn't go flying off the track. So we've got some time to make on the Red Bull ahead. Can we catch up? Well, as we head down to the Della Roggia chicane, the next lap, we managed to just get within reach of the Red Bull. And as they round the first of the 2 Lesmos, Webber trying to make a move on Maldonado, who gets squeezed out by Ricciardo ahead. I just go down the inside of Webber and get the move done, and Kobayashi sees the open door with ourselves going through and takes that himself and ends up smashing into Webber on the exit of the second Lesmo. So we're going to try and catch up to those cars ahead. Maldonado going slowly as he gets overtaken by one of the Lotuses. We're going to go down the outside at Ascari, managed to get one of our tyres in at the entry of turn 10, so he has to give us some room, and we did get the position from him. So after 2 laps we've made 4 positions. Not bad for 2 laps of racing as we head to the next lap. Once again heading to turn 4 of the Della Roggia chicane, going behind around the inside of Daniel Ricciardo as we enter the chicane. Behind Senna, he gets a bit of a wheel on the first corner of the chicane. We don't make much ground on him as he goes around the first Lesmo. Can we get any time on the second? We get a little bit deep on the second Lesmo, so we're going to be exposed to an overtake from behind as Kobayashi goes down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. We tried to cover them both off, so we end up choosing Ricciardo over Kobayashi, which turns out to be the wrong move. It's what a pace from him, getting 2 overtakes in one straight. We head round Ascari, we managed to get a better exit than him, so we're going to try and get that move back by turn 11, heading down the straight, just getting as much speed as we can. We go down the outside, then look inside, try and get the move done. And strangely, as we head around the Parabolica, there's an engine failure ahead, and that slows all these cars down. No yellow flag, no safety car, so those overtakes perfectly legitimate. We get a run on Rosberg for P7, and our teammate in P6, DRS, is open finally, as I forget, with the Chaos Hound at the final turn. What's going on? We go down the inside of our teammate and get the position for P6. So in one turn, from P12 to P6, 6 places in one straight, essentially. Not a bad lap for us ourselves, but the excitement of what happened at the final corner gets to us a little bit as we enter the Della Roggia chicane, going a little bit deep and over the bumps. We have to concede the position to our teammate Paul di Resta. We don't put on much of a fight. If it was someone from a different team, maybe so, but seeing as our teammate, we might as well let him have it, as we can try and work together to leapfrog and get to whoever is in P5. So we come round to take the position from our teammate once again, and I'm just put off by a car who's turning across the entire width of the track. I think it was Perez who retired with some kind of failure. So he puts us off from making the move. We come round the Curva Grande to have another go at making the position. We go down the inside of Paul di Resta as we enter the Della Rosa chicane. We get the move done, brake early this time so we don't go flying off over the speed bumps, and that is another position gain for us back into P5, or it would be P6, but with that retirement from Perez, we're now P5, as despite the fact we are now the lead car in the Grand Prix, Paul di Resta being able to get a pit stop before us, so we're going to have to put in a good lap to make sure that he doesn't put on fresh tyres on his out lap. So we come in on the in lap, and that is our first ever lap led in our Formula 1 career. That's one for the statistics, if anyone's keeping track. Italy is the first time we ever led a lap, and so far it is the only time we've ever led a lap in our career. So we get our pit stops done, we enter far beyond Paul di Resta, and there was nothing else in this race of worth showing. Kobayashi behind us was eventually going to close us down at some point, but he needed a good 5 more laps to do so. So we crossed the line of the Italian Grand Prix in P5, considering we would have been in the points in P7 last race despite a 20-second penalty, ending up 13th, and then P5 this race, our rival Kimi Raikkonen just ahead of us. So we're looking for the Lotus seat for 2013. Not a bad result for us today, with plenty of strange goings on at the Italian Grand Prix. Always makes for an exciting race, and that's what's led us to be so far up the order, considering in what car we are in. Jenson Button being disqualified. I think he was the one who had that engine failure, perhaps getting a disqualification for illegal blocking in this game. So all that's left to say is that we are 7 points behind our rival of Kimi Raikkonen, trying to get his Lotus seat for the 2013 season. As the end of the season is approaching, let's hope that contract comes through on this game so we can then play as Lotus for the next one. The team very happy with our P5 performance. What a fantastic end to our bad streak of races. Let's hope it can continue. So everyone, all that's left to say is thank you very much for watching this episode of the F1 Mega Career. 2013 is fast approaching, so I hope you are ready for the next season. I know I am. Hopefully we can get a new, better car for the next season, make it a little bit more exciting. Thank you very much for watching. It's an absolute pleasure if you've made it this far. I don't think anyone's made it this far at the end when I check the analytics. So if you have, well done, congratulations. If you're one of the earlier views, the likelihood is you've made it this far. So I'm going to have to give you some kind of special reward if you put something in the comments. I'll give you a little plaque at the end of a video or something. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments for suggestions and improvements below. I'll be sure to read them, no one else is in the comments. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.